Well, folks, I hope you are prepared to have laughter and fun tonight. We are going to have a ball. We're going to go retro. It's only fitting that we should do this. As we get older, as we age, we look back on the things that we had. And I don't care what anybody says, Gen X had the best toys, the best music, the best TV shows, and the best life. Millennials, I feel sorry for you, and Gen Z, God help you all. That's no joke. Gen X had it going on. Gen X was the best. Generation X was the golden era for toys, music, TV shows, and still simple fun. It is now 2026. The world has shifted hugely. And it will never be the same. Hey Finch, how are you? This is the Michael Nelson Show. Long live the 70s and 80s. Yeah, we're going to have fun tonight. We're going to wait till everybody gets in here and we'll start throwing pictures up there and people will be laughing their butts off. I prepared for this one. But I found a very, very, very cool bargain today. I was very pleased with that. Very pleased. And you wouldn't expect to find it in Georgia somewhere, but I did. Open up me a can of olives. Gotta have my olives. Olives make the world go round. If I don't dump them all in the strainer, that'd be awesome. Why did I do that? Because that's the dumb things I do sometimes. All right, let's try that one more time. There we go. This time, don't do anything. It's getting to the point where it's going to be too hot. I noticed my grass is really dry. It's been dry. People are watering their lawns. We don't typically do that in Georgia. I find it interesting that people have such a problem with shirts that I wear, all to be funny, and nobody ever said anything to that guy. That is a full-grown black man that made a living dressing like a woman. Put on the lipstick, everything. Nobody ever sent him a Bible verse, Deuteronomy 22:5. Hi, Tans. Nobody sent him mail and crap. America laughed. They thought it was funny. Hello, Dave. Tans, how are you? That is Tyler Perry behind me. Affectionately known in American television as Medea. Absolutely funny. Played the part very well. And I'm just amazed at how bent people get when I do, just, I don't even go all out like that. What has happened to people? Dave, I love that. That couch has got to be the ugliest couch I've ever seen. We'll be showing all kinds of ugly stuff. Lady! Do I even know you anymore, lady? Oh my gosh, she showed up. Thank you, Tans. I'm glad you're here. That's right. You too can win this couch if you guess the price is right. That lovely plaid pattern that looks like Grandma's house, you can enjoy that too. Lady, how are you? I'm concerned when I see people drop off, especially when I kind of get to know them. This world, one thing we know is life is uncertain, but it makes me sad when I see people drop away, because that's all we got. That's all we as Christians have, is God and each other. We have no idea what tomorrow may bring. And we're going to be talking about the past tonight and having fun with it. The Uber, that's right. And I've made good friends with some of you all. And that becomes important to me because I don't have a life in Augusta. And it's not because of anything I've done. I'm different. I get that. But society today has shifted. It has shifted hugely. And that's not my fault. And I noticed something today. It seems like a lot of the people that have friends here, well, it's just a different everything here, different culture. Seems like if you're a bad, excuse me, all in peace, stuck in the throat. If you're a bad woman or a bad guy, you got lots of friends. If you got like me, ooh, baby. I can hear creaky saloon doors and tumbleweeds blow down a main street of dry, old, wooden, abandoned buildings in a Wild West town. And creaky doors and echoes of hoofbeats and horses and six-shooters that don't come around no more. Well, Tans, you're awesome. She is wearing a tablecloth. Well, I missed you too, lady, and I'm glad you're back. Yeah, either that or it's a comforter. That might be a comforter, folks. Y'all remember this guy? Name him. Let's see. Y'all know who that is? Look at that beautiful tropical shirt. Beth, how are you? Weird Al, that's right. Another one rides the bus. Just eat it. Just eat it. But let's go back to this dressing issue. There's Medea again. I wonder how many people quoted him Deuteronomy 22:5. I doubt anybody ever did. Yeah, isn't that cool? Did anybody give him as much of a hard time for dressing like a woman as I do? And he did it way more than me. He had on heels, the purse, the lipstick, everything. Why is it that people will watch that on the screen and they're okay with it, but when I do it on my screen, I have committed a mortal sin? He does crack me up. Well, lady, hugs are free. There's only one problem. You and I are not in the same room, so I can't feel your beating heart against me. That's the hard part. There's something very powerful about that. I feel like Robin Williams. I'm here to educate, entertain, and sometimes lately I've had to dig deep. The most depressed people, now this doesn't apply to me, but the most depressed people are often those that make us laugh the most. Robin Williams had a battle in life. But do you think it's the skin color? I went to the flea market today. My little cut off bottom of the shirt and my necklace crisscrossed. Beautiful black woman. She had a traditional African top and bracelets, necklets, and all these different. She looked at me. I said, "You are beautiful." She goes, "Thank you." I was about to say the same to you. I said, "I love your ensemble." You know, why can't the world be nice? Why you gotta be so rude? Why do people gotta do that? Absolutely, Tans. I just watched a video and I had to get control of myself because I started crying. I'm an ocean liner, man. This time last year, the SS United States under tugboats was towed out of Philadelphia. And they had some footage on a short looking at the stern of the ship with all the rust and the paint flaking off the most beautiful liner ever built. The fastest, held the speed record, still holds it to this day. And they had that piece of Star Wars music. And I'm like, oh gosh. They're going to be sinking that. They've removed the smokestacks. They've removed all the portholes, all the windows. They've taken the anchors off of it, the propellers. Basically what they're doing is dropping a steel shell in the bottom of the floor just so divers can spend too much money to dive it. The rooms have been stripped long ago. They took everything out of it. It's basically going to be like the shell of a skyscraper underwater. Really nothing exciting. And Florida paid a lot of money for that, just to do that. And for years we were hoping somebody would buy it, you know, restore the thing and bring it back to life. And that's the last one. That is the last ship that had the possibility of bringing back the golden age of steamships. It's done. And that bothers me. Hello, Cheryl, how are you? Lady, they do, but why is it that they get so, why me versus that? Why is it okay for him to do that and they will watch it on TV and laugh? But when I do it, you think I just ordered 6 million people to the ovens. That's the way they treat it. Our age is so petty. They treat me like I've committed a war crime. That's how petty our age is. It just blows me away that you gotta walk on eggshells with so many Christians today. This is wrong, and this is wrong, and this is wrong, and this is wrong. And do you walk in perfection yourself? Well, no, but what? Your sin, whatever it is just as bad as you think my sin is when I wear a different top. I don't get that about people. It's crazy. Justice Jane, how are you? Welcome. No one walks in perfection. Hi, Summer. How are you? I don't care what anybody says. We got community here. Now, before we get going on this, I just want to say something. We were Gen X. This was not us as kids. Look at that. Look at that. Stare long and hard at it. That's today. We're going to go on a journey into the past. And I hope by the end of the evening tonight, you will see the contrast. I hope it'll snap you into a wide awake reality of how radically different it was for us versus today. This is sad. I said when I was married to my wife of 14 years, I will never ever have a cell phone. Famous last words. Famous last words. We have to have one. And it's sad. I spend a huge amount of time on my phone. But the saving grace is I use it not just for selfish purposes. I use it to encourage, to educate, to reach people, to strike a chord with, to hit a nerve with people. Because I feel that in America today, there's all kinds of people going, want, want, want. But most people aren't worth the listen. That's my opinion. And I think that I have something to say. I'm real, I'm genuine, I'm transparent, and that is pretty much gone from the American landscape today. It's a sad, sad dichotomy, and it's a sad reality. These kids today are a mess. I'm going to say it like it is. They did not have what we have. I'm going to be draining my noodles here. And I wanted to just show you something. I mean, this was the 90s, okay? Come on, man. That was past, I was in out of high school when that came out. And that's actually funny. We're going to go back further than that, though. Chia. They even had an Obama head chia. I'm like, good grief. An Obama chia. The only president that was deemed worthy to get a chia pet made in honor of him. Now, is that whack or what? I think we ought to have a Starmer doll. Don't tell me what kind of a doll that ought to be, but I don't have good feelings about Mr. Starmer at all. I can't. There's no way I can. That guy has made some statements lately that just blow me away. Saying Islam is okay, and you're like, what? Huh? Well, then go live in a Muslim nation. Go to Mecca. People say things and they don't live in those places. We romanticize stuff. And we don't realize the reality, the harsh reality of it. And it's scary. Not everything was ever romantic. Look at the way we romanticize the mafia, Al Capone, the gangsters. Oh, people romanticize that. Those guys were dangerous. Those guys were absolutely dangerous people. There's nothing to romanticize. Nothing. The mob, Al Capone, they were not your friends, folks. I watched a video today, showed a woman walk into a bank in Idaho from Texas, 57 years old, with a stolen identity, trying to pull $37,000 out of that person's account. Fortunately, the banker was on this thing, secretly called the police. Police brought her into one of the banker offices, had a chat with her, and slapped the cuffs on her. That woman had no conviction. She didn't drive up in a car. She was dropped off. after going to Starbucks, walks into the bank with a latte. I'm like, good grief, people. You would have cleaned out somebody's $37,000, not even cared. And now you just got busted. That kind of fraud, that carries a pretty heavy jail sentence. That one isn't, you get out 3 days later. Unbelievable. And I'll show you some pictures of a Cape Coral, Florida video I saw. I tell you, when you see the stuff that the police have to deal with that wastes our tax dollars and their time, it is just unbelievable. And it's crazy. The people that do the stuff they do are crazy. But we were talking about some of the ugly stuff of the interior decorum of the 70s, and you might have stay tuned to this because I'm going to show you roll that beautiful beam footage of some of the ugliest stuff from the 70s. Woo! Baby, did people have bad color ideas in homes and furniture, and unbelievable, gross. And it's funny, I remember that stuff. I remember it well. I think the 60s and the 70s for architecture and furniture was an epic fail. And yet I grew up in the heart of all that. Can you imagine living in the Brady Bunch house today? That'd be a trip. That staircase. That is a trip. That is a trip. I'm going to get caught up here so I can settle in and hit the ground running. I don't know, man. I don't care what anybody says. Gen X, to me, was the best. And I'm saying that because I am Gen X, so I'm a little bit biased. We had the best toys. We had the best TV shows, the best movies, the best music. And we still had a connection to people that were in the hardest time of America. The World War II vets, people that survived the great stock market crash, the Depression. We were the hinge generation. And now, I fear that we are the last vestige of sanity generation over the millennials and the Gen Z. And it's sobering and it's sad because Gen X still has some scruples and some values and some rock solid stuff because we grew up with grandparents that loved this country. They weren't burning the flag and they weren't woke. Really, Beth? Not a trip, groovy. But people forget something. They all criticize my clothing. Anybody remember that 80s TV show? Anybody remember that one? So is the chat working? I'm not sure who that was. That was an 80s TV show called Bosom Buddies. The two guys couldn't find an apartment, but there was a vacancy in an all-girls apartment. So they dressed as women so they could be admitted to live in the apartment building. Now, my mother, when I was a kid, did not like us watching that show. I didn't watch it because I was not into that. When I was a kid, I was into Chips, Dukes of Hazzard, One Adam 12, Smokey and the Bandit, BJ and the Bear. I really wasn't into that. My sister got into that more than I did. I watched James at 15, then James at 16. The Incredible Hulk with Lou Ferrigno. Was that Tom Hanks? I did not know that. If I remember correctly, that TV show started off with the song, "Go ahead with your own life, leave me alone." Wasn't that Billy Joel? Okay, I see it. Yeah, I didn't like the show, but my mind, I have my favorites. I liked all the TV shows involving transportation. The Love Boat. Airwolf. I loved Airwolf. Airwolf was a good show. But this one, this was probably the most beautiful lady on TV when I was a kid. Barbara Eden was something else. Yes, master. Airwolf was great. You got that in the UK. Wow. Yes, Barbara Eden was very beautiful and she played the show well. I Dream of Jeannie, yes. She maintained her beauty for a long time. Yeah, that was a good one. Now, when we were kids, girls still had these. You could not do what today, Beth? She's still alive. Wow, 94. Is she really, lady? Anybody remember that doll? Who was that? That was so big when I was a kid. With girls. Who's Annabelle? Please say a prayer for Colette. Colette did not come on the live last night, did she? Raggedy Ann, yes. I messaged her this morning, nothing. I messaged her this afternoon, nothing. She may have went to see her mother, which is somewhat of a drive from where she is I think she's on North Island. But I would believe her phone will go with her, so I hope she's okay. Annabelle, oh, we're going to talk about demon-possessed dolls. We're going to talk about childhood trauma that occurred all the way back in the 60s and 70s. But, you know, Raggedy Ann, I never thought that a few years back we'd see a new and living version of it as a press secretary. I could not stand that woman, otherwise known as Jen Psaki, the smartiest, smart aleck, rude White House press secretary ever. Could not stand that woman. And I dubbed her Raggedy Ann. Really? I didn't know that. Anybody remember these? These were fun. You don't see these anymore. They were all over the place in the 70s when I was a kid. Do you really, lady? Those were so cute. Good old sock monkey. Anybody remember Curious George and the man with the yellow hat? Hey, Thomas, how are you? The man with the yellow hat. Curious George was a naughty little monkey. Tans, did you have sock monkeys in the UK? Yes, those were good books. That was a good series. Yeah, Tans, they were all over the U.S. when I was a kid. They called them sock monkeys. Because if you look at it, I think if I recall right, they were originally made out of socks. I remember the little house in the big woods. Vaguely, I don't remember reading it, but I remember it. All right, speaking of creepy, I never had that one. I don't want it. Why is the fire truck going down my street? Ew. Yep, Monkey was bad. Chucky's no good. But look, take a good look at this. Not a lot of difference. I was in high school, I think, when they came out with that. And I'm like, really? My Buddy? A doll for boys? My buddy and me gonna climb a tree. There's a black guy at work. He asked me a couple weeks, do you remember that toy they had, My Buddy? I said, yeah. Did any boy even have it? He goes, I did. I said, you did? He's younger than me. I didn't say anything, but I'm like, I did not have a doll when I was a kid. Yeah, it does. It looks like Cabbage Patch in the face. I know. That my buddy, look, tell me the difference between that and this. Absolutely zero. Same doll. They use the same machine, put different clothes. Oh, good grief, lady. Did you get mad? Did you cry? Did you tell on him? My buddy doll's scarier than Chucky. Yes, Vendetta. Yeah, well, we had Stretch Armstrong and G.I. Joe. I didn't either until today. I'm like, I was going through and collecting pictures off the internet so I could do my shtick tonight. I'm like, why does that look like that? Sheesh. Scary. We could do a whole new horror movie. Coming out this summer. Remember the late 80s, early 90s? They came out with a doll for boys called My Buddy. But did you know? The same one that created that created Chucky. This summer, the horror continues. I could see the women. Marlene, you bought your son a My Buddy doll? Yes. You've got to get that away from him. No, it's cute. He loves it. You've got to get that away from your kid. It's Chucky. Scare the heck out of him. Hey, Blondie. Nation, that's funny. I would have taken Chucky and strung it up in the tree. I would have climbed all the way up there and hung him from one of the branches. That's the kind of kid I was. I would have definitely done something. I lived in the mountains, so that would have been fun. Chucky explores a pine tree. Hang him from the tree on a rope. Then in the winter when it's snowing and there's a blizzard and you see him swinging in the wind, say, Chucky's first winter. The Revenge of the Labubu. Oh, they had a kid on a YouTube video, looked like Chucky, or it was Facebook Reels. He's standing on the sidewalk and there's people going by who looked just like that. They had the clothing, everything, and a person walked by and you go like this, and they would run and scream. I mean, people freaked out when this kid started moving around. Hi, uranium. Oh my gosh, that is so funny. But then we had the harmless stuff. What could go wrong with a kid and some colorful pegs and a blacked out thing that you put the right pegs with the right numbers and you had light bright? Wasn't that fun? Hello, Mr. Hinkle, how are you? Oh my God, it's full. I did not mow the yard this week. It is drier than a stick. There's nothing to mow. We're supposed to get rain next weekend. I'll tell you what, we're going to have a little bit of cool down the next few days. The high will be 73 tomorrow, or 71. That'll be pleasant. I was thinking today, the cloud cover makes a big difference. If we have a cloudy, hot day, the AC does not run as much. It all is the UV. So I have this idea. And I shouldn't even share it with you, but I'm going to because there's no way that I can pull this off. If you want to become a multi-billionaire, invent UV resistant siding and roofing, and you will have a business that will carry you and your family and your family's family forever. It is the UV that heats up your house. Light Bright was cool. A creepy crawly oven. We had a thing that we called goops. It's the little die-cast molded plates with centipedes and bugs and different doodings and beetles, and you squirt the stuff in there. You put it on the heater or the heat plate, and you made goops. That's what they were called. Well, that's what my family called them. This Walmart, it looks so much like my late sister. Wow, Blondie, that's weird when that happens. And I'm sorry, sea monkeys, man. Hey, Bree, how are you? We're just going back into the past. All right, folks. How many of you ladies had this fine appliance as a child? Look at that, huh? The real McCoy. No, Blondie, You don't owe an apology ever. This chat, no matter what we got going on, is for real people to talk about real issues. No exceptions. That is an easy bake oven with the little cake in the front and the recipe things in the left. When I load it to the chat, it kind of clips the sides of the picture. It shows a little black girl with plaits in her hair holding out one of the entrees you can make. I thought, that is so cute. Things were so innocent back then. Did you make cakes, lady? Yeah, it was powered by a light bulb. That is the truth. How many of you ladies had these? I remember one of the girls in my family had this because I used to mess with it. I liked it because it was all metal. Remember that dollhouse? That was the front, and that was the back. You could arrange the furniture and everything. I made a mess, and my parents took it away from me. Chocolate frosting all over the carpet and the walls. Yeah, I didn't even think about that. They had one in the 2000s, Terry, really. I remember Little People and Fisher-Price. They are, and I see these at the flea market. You made your own out of cardboard. That's cute. That's the other thing about Gen X. We were resourceful. We would have more fun with a refrigerator box, and we would cut out windows and everything. And then when we boys got tired of the girls playing bossy butt and playing house, I'd go run up and body slam the thing, and it would collapse. The girls would run out and scream, "You wrecked the house!" Yep, I did. I'm tired of this. That's wild, Terry. I use markers and change. Leanna, I got my butt spanked when I took my mother's nail polish and painted my Lincoln logs. She wasn't real happy about that at all. 1966, man. Vito was playing with mud pies and worms. That's funny. Yes, Leanna, how are you? And welcome. I had one of these, but not as a kid. I had a collection. I wish I'd have kept it. I want to get the whole Mighty Tonka set. Remember that? That was the Mighty Tonka Winnebago, and the roof opened up. Girls could put their Barbie dolls in it. That was the only thing that Tonka made to kind of reach out to the girls, was the motorhome, the Winnebago. Ah, this really cuts the picture off. Too bad for that. Yes, but I'm not. I am Gen X. I was married to a boomer. Wait a minute. Gen X starts what? 65? My ex of 14 years was 1960, so that's a boomer, right? I don't know, Don. Sometimes I wonder, because boy, I feel like I'm cursed. There we go. The Tonka Winnebago, man. I could sit on that as a kid and ride down the driveway, and I did. Hot and humid in Alabama. Well, I'm just next door, Leanna. I'm over in sultry, sweaty Georgia. Well, thank you, Don. Are you complimenting me? Why are you so far away? You need to come over here and run your fingers through my hair or something. And I'm not responsible for what happens after that. Anyways, moving right along. Every politician in Washington needs to get one of these, because that's all they do. Sit and spin. By Hasbro. Anybody remember that toy? I got nail polish in my eye. Oh, that had to hurt. Woo, Blondie. Some of you girls were rough, man. The 413 and the newer ones had a 440. Yeah, they were gas guzzling piglets. You love Georgia, Leon. Well, hey, come on over, man. Nauseous just looking at it. Yeah, it had them little Psyche colors. Remember the hands down? Yeah, Twister. Stomper trucks. Had that in the 2000. These toys came out when we were kids, man, and they were the bomb. All right, folks. Anybody remember the 90s? And this was the ugly throwaway. You get 100,000 miles out of it, and it's good for the trash can. The Geo Metro, yeah! Kind of cut off the picture. Oh, yeah. Leon, I can't spin anymore. I was great as a merry-go-round kid. I used to push it. Oh, we got the Yugo coming up. We got the Yugo right here. Look at that. Motor Trend even said it was a great value. That car was, see that? $3,990. It almost looked like the VW Rabbit. The Yugo, and then they have the Justy. There was a group of people in Denver trying to buy old Geos. They liked them too. My grandmother had a gold AMC Rambler wagon when I was a kid with curb feelers. What's the Jards? The Honda Civic? Well, let's get into these beautiful cars. Name that car, folks. You can see it right there. We were just talking about it last night. We want to do the back seat in that ugly green couch. This is a two-door here. Ford Pinto, that's right. And you will win that car if you guess the price is right, folks. That is a V8, lovely orange color. It's the all-new Ford Pinto. You ever notice they have the junk stuff for cars? You never got the Mercedes or the muscle cars. You got that on the game show. Somebody's blushing over there. The throw-up green couch? Yes. Hey, I would love to go back in time and buy a Datsun 5-speed pickup. You could fart in the tank and go across the country. Those things were awesome. You couldn't haul crap, but they were just great little trucks. There you go, the fishbowl on wheels, folks, the AMC Pacer. Designed to burn you up. It was the only rolling solarium ever. What an ugly car. What toy killed people? No, the colors on cars are awful. Silver, gray, or white? I said the same thing, Don. No pizzazz. A Jamaican lives right around the corner from me. His truck got crushed under a tree during Halloween, and he still drives it around. The bed is just crushed on one side. And, hey, Mom, I saw the color on your house. I like it. He said, that look good, man. I said, I know. We got to bring some color. He goes, I know. He said, your plate look good. We ought to do that. I said, make it look like Jamaica, man. Everybody ought to do bright and cheery colors. I would love it if we could start something like that. Oh, the Slant 6 was a good engine. Yeah, plastique. Here we go, folks. The AMC Gremlin. I had a girlfriend in high school had a purple one. Or no, it was dark blue. I said, really, Diane? She goes, what? I said, a Gremlin. Mike, it's my first car. I like it. I said, okay. But I still don't like it. The front end of that car had potential. The back, no. Looked like somebody backed into something. Get the fingers caught on the doors. Ouch! Really, the engines were bad. You know, AMC had a lot of problems. You know, they owned Jeep. And they bought out the Jeeps. And then Jeep was bought out, or AMC was bought out by Chrysler. The Gremlins. Ah, yes, but you didn't live life until they came out with the video arcade. Tempest. The stand-up. That was before the phone. But I remember being a kid, you couldn't get me off of that thing. I blew quarters like you wouldn't believe playing those things. All right, Leanna, thanks for coming in. Please come back again. We love you. Sister from Alabama, please don't be a stranger. Pac-Man was awesome. Remember Miss Pac-Man? Thank you, Lee. In the 80s. I don't remember Sword Quest. I remember a game and I hated it. It was Missile Command. It was slow. It was blah, and I'd run out of ammunition and watch myself get blown up. Sad. But I have to share with you something very sobering. You wonder why kids in the 60s and 70s had trauma? It all started when Mom and Dad just wanted to take an instant picture with the Easter Bunny. Look, what's wrong with that? What's wrong with the picture? Those kids are crying. I mean, come on. That's the Easter Bunny, man. What are they fussing about? Look at that bunny. That is a real picture. That is not AI. I've seen that years ago. That would traumatize me as a kid. Mom, I'm not sitting with that. Get up there. I want you to take your brother. I don't want to go to the Easter Bunny. I'd rather sit next to Chucky than that thing. It looks like an angry squirrel. It is terrifying. That is a real picture from back in the day. Both those children probably committed suicide as adults. I'd like to meet those kids and say, were you traumatized by the Easter Bunny? You can join a class action lawsuit along with those that were scarred by the lies of sea monkeys. Why does it look like roadkill? Because it probably is. Well, look, they get better. Look at this. You want that thing holding your child? I'm sorry, that's creepy. Look at the eyes. It looks like a rat. It looks like a dang rat. You want your daughter sitting on that thing's lap? I don't. We ought to do a movie with that as the backdrop. That Easter Bunny is frightening. This is creepy too. Look. That ain't no bunny. What the heck is that? No wonder the kids got messed up. I mean, shoot. Psychologists can't fix those kids. They can't do it. Shaking my head. Yes. Demonic. Yeah, one eye is a lazy eye. I'm sorry. How about this one? This one's really spooky. Now that, I can't say on YouTube, but that just screams, I am a creep. The ears aren't right. The buck teeth ain't right. What the heck is that? You can tell it's some old dude sitting in that outfit. That was scary. That looks like a face that ate itself. Don's running. John Wayne Gacy 5 just run. But folks, we didn't do it right as a kid. They should have had a movie off of this guy. You have that little cute music going. Kids, we're going to have Easter baskets tomorrow. Yay, Mommy! And then you see this thing peer around the corner. Oh, I can't wait for tomorrow. Oh, boy. Run! Pink Floyd, you better run. Easter Bunny with a wicker chair. Shoot, when I was a kid, wicker furniture was all over the place. They're scarred, I'm telling you. They were scarred from this, too. That was a swing set. It's hard to see, but there's a kid on the left and a kid on the right hanging off of that. Look at the eyes. That is creepy. That was old playground equipment. I don't remember that one. Thank you, Don. I need somebody to run their fingers through it. Would you volunteer? It's clean and it smells good. That is a creepy swing set. Water wiggle. I don't know what that is. That's at a playground. That don't exist here. The old playgrounds were great. We're going to get into some of those. Here's another one. That's weird. I don't remember seeing the swing set like that. Yes, and I forgot to say that. We had the best playgrounds ever, Gen X. Now, I know you've all seen this guy. I have. The snail, them weird eyes. Oh, the newer playgrounds suck. When the metal slides burned your bum. Yes, Dance. You got home and your mother was changing you and said, "Why's your butt red?" "Mom, I went on the slide. It was like a cookie sheet." Oh, the McDonald's with the grimace on the springs. That was fun. I should have taken a picture of that. I did not. Remember this thing? They had cool stuff. You could climb and bounce on it. And the tornado slides. Yes. And some of the slides were scary. Like this. Look, would you put your kid on that today? That thing's insane. It's as high as a dang roller coaster. Look at the ladder up that thing. Would you put your kid on there today, folks? But we went on those. Scary as heck. There's one at a church school in Colorado. As an adult, I climbed up it. I got scared. I'm like, man, this thing is narrow and long and tall. You want that slide? That kid's risking his life. I know. It's a trip. Oh, let me get some juice and go into the room. I did some changing of stuff today. We'll take a temporary break off of the fun stuff, and I'll show you. I moved some pictures around to accommodate some new ones, and thought I don't have anything on any of the walls, so I put the steam train in here. Love that. That is a very cool painting. Very awesome. Got that at the flea market. This has a story. I worked for a woman in Denver doing some property maintenance, and that was sitting by a pile of trash. And I said, "What are you doing with that?" She goes, "It's going in the dumpster." And I said, it's a needlepoint. Remember when they used to do needlepoint? But I like boats. I said, "No, I want it." She goes, "Take it." I said, "I'll put it in my truck when I leave." "No, you put it in there now. That's my husband's and I don't want him to see it." I said, "Wait, I don't want to take your husband. Michael, his ex-girlfriend gave it to him years ago. Get it out of here." "Yes, ma'am." I decided to put the tiger in here. I think the tiger goes better with the theme of this room. Kind of reminds me of the Barnum and Bailey circus wagons on the train, and you got the wood that matches. I thought tiger belongs here. I got to get this room cleaned up, put a bed in here. I need to get 2 female roommates that don't drink, smoke, or do pot. They're responsible and quiet and love living in my house, and they could give me a little extra income. That would be freaking awesome. But not in Augusta. That ain't going to happen. No way, Jose. Finally hung some pictures in here. Make it look a little homey. Got this old mirror. This is Bourbon Street. Good old New Orleans, if I can get the light off of it. That I got for a few bucks at the flea market. Nice frame, outdoor. Get that light is just terrible on this picture. That is a cool picture or painting. Then I put this over here. And Tina left the nautical curtains that she bought for the windows. Gotta get a mattress. Shoot, if a woman comes, she's already got pre-selected female clothing. Isn't that awesome? I mean, you got it made. Furnished apartment with clothes. I love it. And then, I gotta tell you a story. Oh, European, I don't think it's gonna happen. I had a godsend in Tina. So, I saw the guy at the flea market. He's married and he dresses like a female, but he wasn't dressed like a female. He had jeans and a t-shirt, almost in regular. He goes, "Hey." I said, "Oh my gosh, where have you been?" He goes, "You didn't hear what happened?" I said, "The lady sells the scented soaps told me." He showed me a picture of a guy. It was called "We Are the Storm," Trump, all that. Guy came up to his booth. He has 3 of the roll down door rooms. He pays $1,000 a month at the Barnyard Flea Market here. The guy came up and said, called him Fagot, threatened him. He said, "Excuse me, I'm selling stuff here. If you don't like me, keep moving." "No, I ought to get my gun and shoot you." He threatened him. He screamed at him. He tried to call security. Nobody answered. And this went on and on and on. And he pulled out his phone and took a picture of the guy. I said, "Send me that picture." I gave him my number. He hasn't done it yet. I want to use that on my YouTube video. Because I want people to know that Michael doesn't gloss over anything. Yes, there's Trump supporters that are not good. And as a Christian, we don't have to agree with somebody's lifestyle, but we need to show the love of God. Yelling scripture at people, harassing people, threatening people is not Christ-like. I don't care what people say. "Oh, I'm not putting it in the paper, Ricky. Everybody will show up." I'm not going through that. But he told me he was picking up everything. I said, "How much you want for that?" And he goes, "You can have it." So I put that in the dining room. I thought, kind of goes with the theme, and it kind of looks like a street down the hall. Very sad. He was hauling everything out. He said, "I was evicted. The manager at the flea market doesn't want me here." You know, he wasn't doing anything to anybody. His wife supports him. I moved some of the pictures from my room, this one. I just kind of did some, I got to change this. But he did, well, I told him. I said, "You should have called 911. He goes, "I didn't even think of that." I said, "The police," I said, "This is South Augusta. The police would have been here quick." The guy, when the security guy came, and the guy tried to claim that my buddy had tried to assault him. I said, "Assault?" He goes, "Mike, I was standing," he showed me where he was standing in his place. He said he had his back, and I simply walked. I said, "Do you need help?" I said, "Did you touch him?" He goes, "No, not at all." I mean, that's crazy. So people, I tell you what, people act phobic, and a lot of people read too much into stuff. You know, if a guy's coming up and making lewd comments and trying to touch you and stuff, that's a whole different ball of wax. But I don't like harassment. The only people that should be harassed are criminals when they're not getting caught. But if somebody wants to dress as a girl, a boy, that's their business. So they evicted him. He has by tomorrow to clear out everything. He already did a good start on it. I said, "I'm sorry to hear that." And he smiled. He said, "I'm not." He said, "My wife supports me." He said, "The truth is they made more money than I did." He said, "Sometimes I broke even, sometimes I didn't." He said, "It was just something for me to do." And I said, "You know, that's sad," because he's different. He's eclectic. He is older than me. He had a lot of pot stuff in the 60s, some weird stuff. I mean, weird, bizarre stuff. He had a lot of blacklight paintings. He used a paint that could be seen under blacklight. Very cool art. And he had some weird stuff. He took pictures. He took professional photographs of Big Sur and places in California that I'm familiar with. I said, man, you took these pictures. And I'm sorry, sometimes eccentric people have a lot to offer the world. And people look at them like they're weird and bizarre. No, what it is the flea market owners are probably staunch conservative. You know, I will switch into my top and I will put on what I had on. I walked through there with no problem. Now he wears, well, this is him here. This is him. I've posted the picture. This is him here. And he's very kind-hearted. Most of the people there like him. In fact, when he was black and white, hey man, hey, you know, and people are sad to see him go. He's been there for 5 years. And I told him, I said, I'm a Christian. I said, I get a lot of flack on my channel for wearing, you know, like that, what I had on. I said, people, they quote Deuteronomy 22:5. He said, oh, they've done that to me too. And he said, Mike, I voted for Trump. I said, you did? He goes, yes. He said, but there is an element of ultra radicals in the Trump group. I said, you realize that that doesn't represent. He goes, oh, I know that. But he said, this guy that was yelling at me, he wants to bring back the KKK and kill everybody he doesn't agree with. And we have to admit, there is that. That's very sobering. And I'm telling you, I wish I'd have been there when that guy did that. I would not have threatened because I'm not. The guy was much bigger. I would have said, hey, dude, I know this guy. He's got a wife. Why don't you just keep on going? Because this is really unnecessary. I would have stood up. I said, did anybody else? He said, no one. So he posted a sign. He wasn't there for 3 weeks. I didn't see it. He posted a sign on the outside of the roll-down door. A guy threatened me, threatened to kill me. The management staff of the flea market did nothing. Security did nothing. And I will no longer be here. And I guess people came through there taking pictures of that to mock him. There is a site on Facebook that is a local site that will remain nameless. I used to get on a couple of Augusta Facebook pages. I got off. You've got a couple dynamics here. You've got the African-American dynamic of, in the midst of that, are those that hate whites. Then you have the Republican, good old Southern boys that hate the North. We actually got pastors down here that hate Northerners. And then you got the conservatives that hate anybody with long hair. So I come rolling into town with long hair. Then I start doing this. Nobody has come up and hassled me. I get more harassment here than I've ever gotten out there. Terry, are you leaving us? No. You have a good night. Be safe. I agree, Blondie. It's not okay. And there are Christians who would say, well, he's dressed like a girl. I'm not going to. He's being harassed. He's not molesting little kids. He's not running up and touching guys and saying, hey, sweetie. That stuff is not okay. And I'll tell you what, We have greater problems in America and in the world than some guy wearing woman's clothes. And that same anger and that same angst is never directed at women. And I had that discussion with him today. I said, you know, women dress like men. He turned around, he said, Mike, blue jeans. I said, oh, you know that. He goes, Mike, historically, there was a time where women were not allowed to wear denim at all. I said, they were working man's pants. He said, when they finally started wearing them, that was frowned upon. So he knows his stuff. And he's a very smart guy. But he's honest. He's in touch with himself. And he loves his wife. They have their disagreements. You know, years ago, I would never have talked to him. Years ago, I looked at him and said, under my breath, F-A-G-G-O-T, I would have done that. There was a time in my life where I would have been intolerant, extremely judgmental. And when that guy started threatening him, I probably wouldn't have said a dang word. Really, Blondie. So that's the story of that. So I will not see him again. He lives over in South Carolina. But most of the pieces that I pick, that I choose, may have no interest to anybody else. But they have a story. Welcome to Sydney Street. When I look at that, I will pray for him. I pray that he comes to Jesus. I pray that he at least knows that I accepted him. And people say, well, you know, as a Christian, we're supposed to love. Can people do that? Can they do that? That's the question. All right, moving right along. Thank you for allowing me the indent. How many of you threw up on one of those or off of it? I remember those colors and that style, and I was the one who spun the kids. I had the energy and I'd get trucking. Kids were flinging off in all directions. That was living back in the day. The old-fashioned hurl go round. That was living, man. Oh my gosh, the kids loved it. Mike, push! 20 kids on that thing, and my small body, I had the torque. I had the horsepower, and I'd get that baby going. And it'd be hot in LA. Didn't matter. I was the merry-go-round generator machine. Nauseating. Swinging, oh, that's funny, Blondie, swinging out of his eyes. Oh, that mango juice is good. Do you remember, ladies, in the 80s when the girls did this? Their hair had a curl and it would poke right into their eyes. And they would do this all day. I mean, I went up to one, I said, you need some wipers? Shut up, Mike. Who's Howard Jones? I've heard of Howard Hughes. Yes, Thomas. Hey, Gail, how are you? I got sick as a dog. Hey, some person. Yeah, I can't go on that spinny stuff. I can't go on the Disneyland ride, the teacups. No way. I'm getting older now. I don't think they have it anymore, but when I was a kid, Disneyland had the people mover. I could handle that. or the Ferris wheel. I'm not going on the big white roller coaster anymore, or Space Mountain, or Thunder Mountain, or the Matterhorn. And I loved roller coasters. He's saying things can only get better. Gotcha. The curly mushroom hair from the 80s. Oh, yes. Mall bangs weren't saying. That is a good way to put it. Mall bangs. I've never heard that, lady. That's accurate. In the 80s, in Prescott, we go to the mall and all the teenage girls are like, thinking they're cool. I'm 96. So I dated a woman. She was my first wife. That was a disaster. That was a story for another time. She did her hair in a beehive style. I did not like it. I liked her. And I saw the pictures at her house where it was parted down the middle and long and straight, way past her shoulders. I said, man, your hair was so pretty. No, I hate it. She was into heavy metal. I was not. She was a Christian and I wasn't. She went through a phase where she embraced heavy metal, rebelled her parents. Everybody tried to talk to her. She went off the deep end a bit. And when I met her, she had kind of come off of that. But she got me going to her Baptist church, and that's how I got saved. So she would put that Aquanet hairspray in her hair. So much of it that it would beat up into little dried globules. And I nicknamed her Reb. And I said, Reb, your hair has so much hairspray in it, there's dried plastic. She didn't care. Everybody laughed at her. Everybody made fun of it. I never did that. We were in a store. And she and I walked down an aisle. I said, I'm going to go look at the stuff in that other aisle. She goes, okay. So I went back around. Two ladies that had passed us didn't see me come back around. And I was looking at toys or something. Oh my gosh, do you see that girl with the beehive hair? What is wrong with that? And I didn't say anything because I'm like, nobody likes the hair on her. And she would spend 3 hours in the bathroom. Her dad would get mad at her. Her mother would get mad at her. She took too much time in the bathroom to get ready for church. And she would argue and get rude. And I learned something. Women in the 80s, and even now, they don't do their hair or their thing to please us ever. They do it, I was told by women, they do it to compete with other women. I said, why do you care about what women think? I'm telling you, go easy. Get that stuff out of your hair, all that perm that's destroyed it. Grow it straight. Put it old fashioned. I love that. Oh no, she did not like that. Pond! How are you? The old hairspray was nasty and it stunk. She took a nap one day. The hair towered like this. She took a nap and she woke up and the whole thing. I said, Reb, go look in the mirror. She started laughing. She goes, oh my, I said, it's dented. And she started laughing. I said, man, you got to stop putting all that glop in there. No, it's the only way it'll hold. I said, man, you've got so much in there. How can it not hold? Hey, Heather, how are you? You're working in the yard. Oh, that was my day last week. Really European. You were a model. That's wild. I love these things at the park. They had different animal heads. They had Donald Duck, Mickey Mouse, but look, they had a piggy. on the spring. And man, I used to just go on those things. Those things were so fun. They don't even have those. They still got them in Hong Kong Kowloon Park. They're seahorses on that same spring. Luda, Ruda, and I got on 3 of them. And the adult Chinese are walking by, and there we are, 3 adults, 2 Filipino women, all in our 40s. And they're laughing. Wow, you guys, look, you having fun. I said, yeah, giddy up, seahorse. People were laughing, man. It was so funny. I wish I'd have taken video of that. Even when I went across the world, when I acted just cut loose, even foreigners would laugh and go, that guy's funny, man. Hey, Heather, how about this one? Look at that, Heather. If you're afraid of heights, you better not go on that slide. I actually pulled that off Most Dangerous Playground Equipment in the internet. They banned all that stuff because of lawsuits. Sad, but true. You modeled for Sears, really? That's cool, actually. That is a little too high. It's very high. Man, that's almost like the bobsled chute. Oh, some person was she okay? That's scary. Oh man. Can you imagine sliding down that long slide on a hot summer day? Your pants would ignite. They better have a pool at the bottom of it. European, that's awesome. That is really cool. All right, folks. The moment you've all been waiting for. Last night we talked about toilets and bathrooms of the 70s. Look at that, folks. Look at that regal, majestic toilet. I mean, if that doesn't shout royalty, folks, what does? Regal and royal, those lush, rich purple colors. Hold on, Heather, they get better. I combed through the internet and picked some of the finest. Yeah, but we were commenting that they overdid these toilets. How about this? I am not going to go to the bathroom on that toilet. That is not right. Why did they do that? Why did they do that to the toilet? Noah. Oh, wait till you see some of the bathrooms I'm going to show, Blondie. That's too much. That's not sanitary. My grandma has ruffles on the toilet. I know. See? Look. How about this one? You want a negligee for your potty? You get a negligee. That's what your butt looks like when you eat spicy hot food. I am not into that. I'm a guy. My thing for toilets, and mine are clean. I don't want pee and poo on the bowl, on the seat, under the seat. I have peace of mind sitting on my toilet because it's clean. That's so wrong. A negligee, and this one you can't see because the picture cuts it off. Well, you can see it. It's got the fringes and the lace down hanging over the edge of the seat. That's just wrong. I think most people after a certain amount of time would throw them away. Designer toilets. Wow. Oh, this gets better, folks. You were talking about carpeted bathrooms? Look at this. That's an advertisement back in the 70s, and it shows the different colors on the bottom panel. Not only do you have a carpeted bathroom, the whole toilet's covered in carpet with a throw rug around the toilet base over the carpet. Why? Why? The price is right, yes. I mean, that, if your toilet overflows, all that carpet gets wet with pee-pee poo-poo water and it's done. You can't get that out. You gotta be practical in the bathroom. They actually got toilets that are heated now. And light up. They even got night light toilets so you can find it in the dark. That's insane. Just insane. Liberace toilets probably was Japanese toilet. Look at this outstanding bathroom. Orange shag carpet. I gotta step aside so you can see it. That there is too much. It is too dark in there. That's too much. That is too much. Brown throw rug on the toilet lid. Yuck. That's disgusting. Absolutely gross. I'm telling you, man. There are just some things you just don't do, and that's one of them. I'll be back. I'm going to put this stuff back and bring the phone in my room. I'm sorry. There's just some things you don't do. That is one of them. But I remember that. Growing up in Southern California, people did that. I'm good making an omelet and wanted to say some people have to dress more fancy in certain positions, though hair dye isn't good for people. I agree. I saw a kid break his arm in elementary school on a slide similar. Yeah, that's why they removed all that. Remember the rings on the chains? I used to love those. Boy, you get clocked in the head with one of those, you were out. I don't drink any alcohol. I never liked it. I never liked it. I never liked alcohol. And here we go with another bathroom. Carpeted to the hilt. And those beautiful yellow, gold drapes. Hi, Torta. I mean, that's what they did in the 70s. And every time I see a bathroom like that, I can just smell the mildew. You can just smell it. All that stuff attracts mildew and stink. Tile and smooth surfaces, best in a bathroom. Lawnmower required. I just pull them off the internet. Look what I did in my bathroom. I mean, let's get real here. I'm not done. I gotta finish the wall and I gotta tear out the surround liner and put a new one in because it's got cracks. It's old. It's from the 50s or not the 50s, probably the 60s because I don't know when the side of this house was added onto. The original house is the 50s. But I did a simple bathroom. I did a lot. This was the doorway. Oh, we got to get off the screen share. This is the door to the bathroom, and I have two bathrooms here. No electrical outlets in the bathrooms. So it had a corridor, which was all damaged and broken because they had people renting. And I bought this, and I stripped it, and put an old-fashioned 50s wood door on it with distressed look. And they had a doorway here. That's why we have the angle. I did the angle, but I tore out all the jam and everything. I'm like, this chops up this too much. I love this mirror. I saved it. Instead of the stupid little plastic clips, I made wood and dadoed them. Much better hold. I like it because it's got the patina on the sides, and I love it. I redid the towel rack. I put a board, screwed it in the 2x4s, and then mounted this properly because hotels do this right in sheetrock. And it never fails when you go to get out of the tub, you instinctively grab and rip it out of the wall. This thing's solid. I'm going to put one up here too, so you can have a his and hers towel rack. I did the little hand towel rack. But I'm going to redo this. This is the old 50s stuff. And I just kept this intact so I can use it. I'm going to cap this off. I'm going to take this off and cap it and leave it. But I'm not going to use the shower because you got a window. I got to redo this jamb. These are the original blinds in the house. I got rid of every one of them but that. I cannot find a size match, and I need my privacy. But, you know, I don't like this. This is crappy. It's rubber ducky, faded, khaki yellow, and it lived its usefulness. It's got the handicap rail, which I like, but there's rust around the screws. I got to gut this, and I got to finish this wall, pull this light. I do like the fluorescent, but probably not going to reinstall that. Get rid of this ghastly thing. But I started. I did all this. I did an indent in the wall to give cubby space. And I did my own. I built a shelf up here. Like if you have children, you can put the out of reach stuff. And there was a light switch in my bedroom. I got to find a cover. I cannot find a cover that covers this wide because this is a big junction box, but there's nothing on this. I could have done a double outlet, but there's no need. So I didn't do a GFI here because it's back here, not by the sink. And I hate dealing with the GFI and old wiring. But yeah, this is simple. I did the gray. It matches the blue tub. I'll do the white surround and get rid of this nasty yellow. I built the ceiling down over the tub to close it in a little more because I like that. And that's just a simple bathroom. Nothing like the ones I just showed you. I mean, those are too busy, too much carpet, too much room for stink and odor. I don't have an exhaust fan in the bathroom. This was built in the 50s. And because of the electrical in the house, I'd have to revamp the electrical to start adding all that stuff. And I'm not going to do it. I'm in a neighborhood that will never be a meteoric rise in price value. So, you know, you don't want to overextend yourself in a neighborhood like this. Yeah, I'm keeping the tub. It's missing the center thing. There may be too much rust. I'm going to see if I can screw a screw in there and put a drain cover over the top thing. Thank you, Blondie. I know it's not a designer bathroom. I know it doesn't look real feminine friendly, but I work with what I have. I've at least brought the house back to, if I ever sell it, somebody can do what they want with it. It's a 50s house. I mean, you want one of those designer houses, then you got to bulldoze it and start over. This is not the house for that. I put character and charm in it, and somebody will like that. I want motorcycle handlebars on my toilet. That'd be fun. Yeah. Get your motor running. You know, that's not a bad idea. The really dark tint. But then at night when the light's on, they can see this going on when you're standing in the shower. Yeah, but you know what, European, it's not that easy. 60 years old. Who's going to hire me? Where am I going to go where I can afford to buy a house? An airbag in the seat. Now that's funny. Where are you going to go? You know, it's expensive when you leave here. You go north, houses are much more. Then you got heating bills that are ridiculously insane. No, I am going to, like I've done in the past when I have difficult scenarios, I'm going to wait on God. And when He wants to open the door, He will in His time do it. And I think that that's critical. Life is not easy anywhere you go. And no matter where I move, at least I know what I'm dealing with here. When you live in a place, you're educated. When you move somewhere else, then you got to make constant adjustments. You know, if I was going to go to the Midwest, of course, Iowa has tornadoes, but you buy a house with a basement. There's some place in Iowa I might consider, not Des Moines. Hi, Tammy. You too. Are you leaving? Hi, Sandy. Hello, Johnny. Not bad. Where are you, European? What state? Let's see. Let's take this beautiful throne room tour. Oh, we got some stuff in store. Look at this, folks. Now look at that. Is that priceless? Look at that bathroom. Look at that look at that wallpaper. Look at that. To think they actually did that back then. Nebraska's all right. Yeah, but you want all that carpet and all that dark green in a bathroom? I've learned the smaller the space, go lighter on the colors. In a small place like the bathroom, you want the bathroom to be upbeat. I did the light gray with the blue tub and the ceiling white. It's a nice offset. It's not so dark and closed in. I like that full length mirror. My bathroom is simple and I like it. It's functional. Which edge? Are you on the Lincoln side, the Omaha side, or the Scottsbluff side? I've been across the state many times. White and light pink. I did the Battleship light gray with the blue tub. I like it. And even some of the women that have come more black and white said, I kind of like the gray in the bathroom. I said, I know, it's different. Oh, I thought you were saying have a good weekend like you were jetting out. I was like, don't go. Lincoln. Yeah, I will stay away from big cities. I've been through Omaha. I know a lot of people like Scottsbluff, but you got to have some money there. Or is it Council Bluffs? Scottsbluff, it's both sides of the border. I can't remember. Is it Scottsbluff, Council Bluffs, Iowa? That's all. Where's Fremont? I've heard of it. Throw up green bathroom with a throw up green couch. Lovely. The price is right. David, man, he loves that. He loves the narration. This is interesting. Look at the wallpaper. Now, I kind of like the tub. I like the angles in the bathroom. But I don't think I would have put all that pink in there. That looks like an attic bathroom. That would have been a fun bathroom to play with. The tile is interesting. I had a pastel pink tub in a place I rented in Prescott, Arizona. Toilet tub and sink were pink, and it was nice. Well, thank you, Tammy. Yeah, that wallpaper's too much. Tans, are you still in here? Got you, Blondie. Blondie, what state are you in? Wallpaper. Who was it that brought up the flocked velvet wallpaper? Was that you, Heather? That cracked me up. I had forgotten about that. I'm like, flocked. I remember that right when you said it. Hi, Tans. Life. I love the little hearts, Tans. Virginia, that's right. A lot of people are dumping tubs and doing those $12,000 showers they install a day. I'm not paying 12 grand for a shower. I won't even pay 12 grand for a kitchen remodel. Have you seen what they charge for dang cabinets now? I wish, and I looked, they had one, but it was all broken and rusted underneath. The 1950s porcelain enamel kitchen sink was the one sink with the drain boards built in and the metal cabinets and drawers underneath. I would love to get that for this house. Can't find them. They're rusted, they're beat up, they're done. Oh, I wish I could find one in mint condition. I would make it work for this house. Who is Shirley and why are you talking about weapons? Michael doesn't talk about weapons on his channel. YouTube does tend to censor that stuff. I'm good, Donita. How are you? Do you remember the Gen Air stoves? Those were hot in the 80s. But that 50s one sounds cool. Bree, that's awesome. Granite's expensive. It is mucho dinero. All right, folks. Let's get into that beautiful 70s furniture. That is ugly. That's a chair. $3,000 to do a tub refinish? Yikes. Donita, I'm sorry. Lord, we pray for Donita that you would help her feet and legs. She's waiting surgery. We pray that you take away her pain, God. Help her to get her legs up and rest them. We pray that you just be with her, God. Nobody likes pain, and we just pray that you'd ease her pain and give her peace of mind. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen. Donita, I'm sorry. Sandy, I don't like that style. I'm not a fan of 70s style. I never was. Yeah, Donita, I hope that you get better soon. Well, how about this beautiful thing? Poop brown chair. And look at that light. Oh my gosh, that is so 70s. Or is that a wall decoration? That's gross. That's absolutely gross. Meet George Jetson. You're welcome, Donita. I know that. Look at that thing. That thing will stab you. Looks like it's hanging right over the chair, too. Don't get up real fast. Yes, I was looking at your showroom. Can I get the poop brown chair, please? That's right, everybody. This lovely poop brown chair. It can be yours if the price is right. Yes, music, but not the furniture. Here's another classic. Oh, yeah. That looks like the chair Kool-Aid would sit in. I think somebody in my family had a lazy boy like that. Or no, that was just the standard rocker. No, it's got the pole handle. That's a probably first gen lazy boy. Plaid and Brady Bunch station wagon green. Oh yeah. You got a recliner that matches the car. Look at that. Archie Bunker chair. Looks like a caterpillar. That screams nursing home furniture, you guys. I love your response. You like the plaid? That chair looks so familiar. It does. Either one of my relatives had it or somebody I know did, because it looks. Fraser's stats set in. My papa's had that chair. That's cute. You call them papas. Now, I'm not a big pet freak, but that's a good dog chair. Yeah, black would look good. Oh, yeah, that wasn't all that crappy stuff the furniture's made out of today. Leanna! Now, I know you've all seen this one before. That chair looks like a good chair to smoke pot in. Oh my gosh. That furniture with a sand carpet. Gosh, that is ugly. Yeah, you know what? Who said that? Blondie, you're right. Some of those chairs, you sat down in them and your butt went all the way to the bottom and you're trying to get out. You're like an old man. Oh, that's from the live last night. What YouTube does when I have a live, it takes a clip at random and I review it because it'll show it as private. If I think it's worth, I've been posting those because it's the teaser. to get people generate interest. Like, what is this guy talking about? And it's a slice out of a live, and some of them are good. I'm like, oh, they pulled the right one, and I'll put it back on. If I don't like it, I delete it. They were comfy. Hi, Chris. How are you? That's a chair you fall asleep in at a party when you're drunk. Repurposing. Yeah, now, I had a 1920s. When I was in Duluth, my landlord said, come on, I got some other properties, and I got a lady, I think, that has a chair she's trying to sell. It was crushed purple velour. Big overstuffed chair. Had the old springs in it. Only one thing wrong. On the right side, there was a tear in the original old upholstery. But I thought, man, if I put it in my place, the right side will be facing the wall. Nobody else. That chair was rich. It was beautiful. And she charged me $5 in 1989. I had a girlfriend. She goes, oh my gosh, I love that chair. It's so Victorian. I said, that chair is a treasure. Everybody likes sitting in it. It wasn't stained. It looked like something that could have been on the Titanic. I was like, don't be eating in my chair. No buttons. Yeah, they got buttons in this thing. Why? Why did the 70s put buttons in everything? Oh, Tammy, it was the deep. It was this purple right here. It was this purple right here. Like my bedspread thingy. That deep, deep purple. More like a magenta. Oh, that chair was an eye catcher. $5 in Duluth. Probably came out of some mansion a long time ago. I've moved so many times. You get rid of all that stuff. You don't want to drag all that heavy stuff with you. All right, folks. This is 1970s. Look at this chair. What in the hell? I mean, that looks like something on a screwy TV show. Is that like Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory chair? Wine or burgundy? That's the meaning of eclectic. Is that from Big Brother? Is it really? I was going to say, is that Donald Trump's chair? With the kings, it looks like royalty on the top there. That is a weird chair. Oh, that looked good in an art room. Pee-wee Playhouse chair. Cyndi Lauper's chair. Girls just want to have fun. Sitting in her panties on that thing, right? Cyndi Lauper's chair. That's funny, Ann. Pee-wee's Playhouse. That thing's a trip. No, I had fun searching pictures. It gives me something to talk about. Look at this. Oh, boy. Look at this. Now, I've seen that setting. They got the matching china hutch, the carpeting, and the wall. I mean, oh my gosh. I would gut that entire room, all of it, and start over. That is too much. Fox body mustard. A lot. I mean, it's almost got a touch of Cracker Barrel, Southern, I don't know what, and the 70s all thrown in. That's too much. Way too much. How about this? Yellow walls and orange shag carpeting. Oh, baby. And what is that thing behind the table lamp? That couch is throw up. Why did they all get those ugly grandma floral print couches? Plastic couch covers. No, that room needs a match. That's what it needs. Disco Inferno time. What is that? It's a 1970s living room, Donita. The ugly sofa, the coffee table, various art bric-a-brac on the walls. Yeah. That print is horrible. Oh, it gets better, folks. Look at that. Your very own color Zenith television. Look at that. Green shag, green walls. Wow. That hurts my eyes. The reason I did this is because sometimes we need to go back and remind ourselves that's what we grew up with, kids. We've forgotten. You see how shocking it is to see it now? You would never have that in your house today. Never. That almost looks like a time capsule, literally. Wowzers. Yeah. That green, that probably was a stereo. Either those were cabinet doors or those were speakers. Yeah, that green is a bit harsh. So I was watching a video today, and this woman who has no bra, 18 years old, in Cape Coral, called the police. She said her dad was beating her, and he was beating his mother, or her mother. Police come out. She was drunk. The father came out, and he said, I didn't hit her. She scratched and bit my arms, and he had marks and teeth marks and drawn blood. She had been arrested 4 times, had gone through 6 jobs in 2 months. Police did an investigation at the apartment complex in Cape Coral, Florida. I watched the whole thing. And the body cam of the cops were focused right here. I mean, you could see the nipples and everything. Not a bad looking girl, but she's like lying. And the guy admitted, he said, I didn't harm her. I did not hit her. She jumped at me and bit and clamped down on my arm, and I leaned forward and tried to drop her on the bed in her room to get her off of me. And as soon as I did, I went out the house. And her name was Katrina. And I left a comment at the bottom. Wasn't that the name of a hurricane? And it made me realize, do you know how much bull crap the police have to deal with that is just such a waste of time? Crazy. This one's 2,100 square feet, but I don't want something that big. I looked in Nebraska before I came out here. I saw a house for $40,000 out in the middle of nowhere. I said, well, that ain't going to work. Yeah, Blondie, I wouldn't want to do it. What's juha? Man, I got a piece of tuna stuck. Oh, those scenes. So after investigating her, she's out there making a big old drama. I took screenshots, that's all that is. And the girl finally ends up in the car on her way to jail. 18. That's crazy. And today I took a picture of this. Not that. I'm driving, and if you notice, that's Georgia plate. And that's the GMC Yukon. Goes driving, it's 45 and he's hauling, you know what. Goes around me, cuts in front of me, cuts to the left, never using blinker. And handicap plates. And I got up to the light and I just hit the phone, the photo thing real quick. And just confirms again, I didn't honk or nothing. It's the usual suspect. And you look at people, that's an expensive vehicle and you're driving like an idiot. And you got handicap plates. And I want to pull up next to him and say, yep, you're handicapped, all right. Your foot's too heavy and you can't turn your blinker on. Bundy, it makes me sick. It makes me sick. They do. Look at the hairstyles. Look at the clothing matched the furniture back then. Some of the clothing matched the furniture. I was so happy when I went to the flea market today and found this. That made my day. I got to show you these. I'm like, wow, I love the Queen Mary. I've been on her many times in Long Beach. And I bought two. The guy's out there, he's a regular vendor. And I saw this. I changed some of the pictures in my room. I just leave the nail up and change them. That is an actual photograph of it in Long Beach. There's the marina with the smaller boats. Gives you an idea how big that thing was. And he said, I'll tell you what, you can have that for $10. And if you want the both of them, you can have them both for 15. The light's reflecting, but that's probably a 1950s tanker. Philadelphia Sun. I thought, what a beautiful, nice frame. I took them. I love my ship stuff, and now I finally got two bona fide ship pictures, and I love that. That's all lit up. You guys can have your cruise ships. That just is not the same. If I could go back in time and sail on that, you better believe it. And my house reflects that. I think a lot of people, their homes, they don't have the charm, they don't have the character. The old ocean liners and ships had character. They were incredible inside. Cruise ships today are amusement parks and, weight rooms and scarf and barf buffets and Lido bars, and they're not like the ships of the Titanic. They're nothing like it. It's just an indulge yourself is all it is. And I like the romance. Speaking of romance and the old style, even though I don't dress like 1912, if I could go back in time and ride on one of those, oh my gosh, I'd be in heaven. To walk through those public rooms, to see the woodwork and just the craftsmanship, I'd be like, this is so cool. Thank you, Donita. I think it's fun. They're distracted, but you got the people that don't care. Hello, Mr. Russell. Hi, D. Miller. What's new? I don't know. We were showing old couches and chairs and bathrooms from the 70s and critiquing the heck out of them. It would be cool, Blondie. It would be cool. A woman is getting $300,000 for them serving her too much tequila. Are you serious? What happened to something called personal responsibility? Does that even play into the equation anymore? By the way, I swept and mopped. I picked up all my area rugs and bleached the floors. I do that every so often. And I like it. I love it when my room is totally clean. Tomorrow I might wake up early and wash my bedding. And before church, I'll hit the laundromat and dry the blankies. And no, you may think it's gross, ladies, but I don't wash my blankets often. I'm not making love in it. I'm not pee-peeing in there. And I don't go to bed dirty. But I like to wash them at least twice a year. '64 T-Bird. That's cool, you're him. That's cool. I like it when you have a piece of chicken or something stuck in your teeth. An hour later, finally dislodges it, and it's big enough that you can chew it. And somebody looks at you and says, "What are you eating?" "Leftovers from my dinner." "What? There's a piece of chicken stuck in there and it fell out." "Mike, you're weird." "No, it tastes good." But I thought I'd have fun going back to the past because sometimes we forget. Dental pick scrubs for that? That's funny. So next time people start commenting on my clothing, just remember they made a whole TV show out of that and they got paid good money. Bosom buddies. Not only them, but this guy. I bet you they never quoted Deuteronomy 22:5 to him. Yeah. When women started showing up in public in PJs, I was like, huh? Russell, it was better. I'm telling you. I said at the onset of this video, we had the best music, the best toys, the best cars, the best TV shows. And people were still decent. Crazy world today. Yes. I didn't realize it was Tom Hanks until one of you guys said something earlier. Yeah, I've noticed. Ladies, I hope I'm not stepping on your toes, but I noticed that years ago. White women wearing sweatpants everywhere. Take their hair and pull it up in a hair tie that says, "I didn't shower all week," look. I mean, it's like, wow. And I didn't know until the other night. Somebody told me Dress Barn had actually shut down, but Dress Barn closed. Capris were the ugliest things I've ever seen. My ex-wife liked capris, so I want nothing to do with capris or Target or Ross or any of those. I have scar tissue from all of that. D. Miller. No, D, and not everybody does. Valley Girl. Oh my gosh, I never saw that. Yeah, capris were. I remember when I was in school, if our pants were too short, they'd always say, waiting for a flood. I said, well, capris, boy, you could say that. Make up your mind. You're either shorts or pants. You can't be in between. I saw Top Gun. That was a good flick. Stirrup pants, I do, but what do they look like? Remember Jordache jeans? D's laughing. D is laughing. Jordache. Yes, the 80s was Hairspray, Jordache, Chic, Bonnie Bell. Remember Bonnie Bell, the lip gloss? Oh my gosh. Ray-Bans, clip-on glasses, clip-on shades. Mullets were in. That was more the 90s. Stirrup in a saddle. Okay. I remember now forever. Ellie! Man, I thought of you, Ellie. I had no way to forward a video on YouTube. Showed a woman in China driving a truck. And the side it said King Kong. It's a flat front end diesel. And it had the square body. It was a motorhome that could go over any terrain. And it had a back storage compartment for the motorcycle. And it was fully outfitted to live in. I wrote right on the YouTube video, I said, Ellie needs one of these. I want you to know I thought of you. The perfect camper. Oh my gosh, I would love to have it. If I had that, diesel's ridiculous. But if I had that, that was such a nice unit. I'd sell the house and live in that. You could go work a job. When you're on your break, you could go cook your lunch in your camper, take your nap in there, shoot. And if your employer lets you, I just park on the lot. No rent. Make your money, work there for a while, move on. Aquanet, yep. Shoulder pads, yep. Remember the days of the stuffing? I remember women would notice that more than we men did. Oh my gosh, you'd hear a woman in class say, she stuffed her bra. I said, how do you all know that? Mike, she was here yesterday. Did you see any bumps there? No, she stuffed her bra. Oh no, Ellie, this was a truck you'd be safe in. This thing had steel sides, locking doors. The thing was built like a tank. I'm like, kitchen, sleeping quarters, bathroom with a shower. I'm like, I could adjust in that. Smaller than my house, but shoot, that'd be fun. I go visit my fans. Well, I couldn't dress like Doubtfire. I'm not that far into it. Short shorts were in Daisy Dukes, man. You could get a car in high school, a used car, 5, 6, $700. You could buy a used pickup between $1,000 and $2,000. Try to do that today. In 1989, I moved to Duluth, and I think I paid $250 a month for a large one-bedroom apartment in an 1890s apartment building with steam radiators. That was living back then. I didn't have a phone. My gas bill was $5.19 a month for the gas stove. The electric was free. The steam heat was free. Man, I lived so simple back then. Now you hear these rents in Augusta, $1,300, $1,400, $1,500 to listen to somebody's noise. First car was $200. Yeah. Nair commercial. Man, a Chevette. Wow, D. You're going to the classics now. Interesting, Blondie. $200 for a car. Got you, Ellie. Ellie, how have you been? How's your job? How are you? My aunt had a Dodge Colt. It was the same color green as that bathroom that I showed you. Chevy, shove it. European, I know. The Twin Cities. Oh, it's not Mary Tyler Moore anymore. That's good. When's your day off, Ellie? You work hard, Ellie. I'm proud of you. Just be careful, Ellie. Sometimes there's creeps in the mountains. Spray painted. Remember when people got canned spray paint and tried to make their car look good? Ugh, that was a disaster. Orange Peel City. Ellie, you camp alone, really. Be careful, Ellie. You are a young lady. Police car auctions. Wow, Sandy, that's cool. Ah, Ellie, you better be careful. You know you're pretty and they're all going to want you. They see some little beautiful lady hanging out in the woods. Somebody going to say, me Tarzan, you Jane. I know you're in the Philippines, but people are sinners everywhere. Electrocuting fish? What were they doing to electrocute fish? Yeah, it doesn't matter where you are in the world. When you're a young lady, you heard about those two women that went, did they go into South America and they never were found? And they think, they got that husband and wife couple that went to India. She was viciously attacked. Other countries are not like this. They look at us and they think we're stupid. You don't go to places and just wander around and go wherever you want. You got to watch what you do. When I went to Hong Kong, Hong Kong's safe. When I stayed with the family in Manila, I stayed close to that family. I'm not going to go wander 10 miles out of the village. You got people over there, they're going to see me and go, who's that? What he doing here? You got to watch your butt. Hey, forever. Did you ever hear that radio program, Coast to Coast? It's on here real early in the morning on 95.1. Oh, they spearfish. Okay. I didn't know they still did that in the Philippines. I know they do that up in Wisconsin, the Ojibwe. Is it the Ojibwe tribe? Well, that's good, Ellie. Just be careful. You are a woman. Carp, we throw those back here, Ellie. We don't eat carp. Sad, Blondie, but he's right. I always say be aware of your surroundings. Never went to Thailand. Before I shut my Facebook down, I had a friend for years, Quan Phone, who lives outside Bangkok. I have no desire to go to Bangkok. I had no desire, but I would have gone and seen her. She's very nice. She was out in the country. Ellie, that's not true, and you know it. Stop saying that. All right, folks, I think I'm going to wrap it up. Michael's getting drowsy. I am, D, and you can see it. Was he critical of it, Sandy? Ellie, you do have a point there. I don't drink European. I don't like alcohol. Never liked it. I'm happy with water and fruit juice and tea on occasion. Lady, thank you for coming in. You still have my number, right? You can still text. Yes, Blondie, we do have a nice group, and I really respect that. Well, Ellie, I hope that doesn't mean they're taking physical advantage of you. That's not good. All right, folks. Nicole, how are you? I'm just getting ready to leave. You missed it, Nicole. We were covering toilet bowl, toilet tank covers, shag carpet in bathrooms, ugly furniture of the 70s. It was a hoot. But if you get a chance, watch it again. You'll love it. Tans, I thought you had gone to sleep. You're so quiet. I've been to the Philippines, Ellie. I don't think even I, as an American, would go alone in the mountains by myself. I'd be with somebody. Because for me, even if I'm with a local gal, they'll see me as part of her. If I'm alone, not so. T. Miller, you'll like it, Nicole. It was fun. An American living in the mountains of the Philippines, he said, screw it, I'm going away from everybody. Wow. Wow, Ellie she's got a bit of a tomboy in her, doesn't she? She's bold as all get out over there. All right, folks. Ellie, good to see you. Tans, everybody. Lady, Blondie, guys. Good night, all. Be safe, Ellie. Everybody else, be safe. God bless Dave, and till next time. I'm good, Matthew, but I'm signing off. When it uploads, you'll have to watch. You'll get a kick out of it. Have a good one forever.